Hi, I'm Glenn from Glenn Larson Law. We're a specialty law firm serving the great state of Texas and beyond in all aspects of personal injury. Many clients want to know more about whether or not they have a good case. And today we're going to be discussing exactly that. If you've been injured in a wreck or some other type of situation that wasn't your fault in any way, you might be wondering whether or not you have a strong case. The answer is, it depends. I'm going to talk to you today about factors that we consider in order to determine whether or not you have a strong personal injury case. The first aspect of any personal injury case is always liability. Proving liability, that the other person or the other company is the one that caused the accident and not you, is the first and always the biggest hurdle in every case. This is also especially true in smaller personal injury cases. Insurance companies have no fear whatsoever about rejecting claims in small cases in which there are serious questions as to liability. To put it another way, if the defendant's fault or responsibility is unclear, then so is your chance of achieving a favorable outcome in your case. After the concern of liability is, of course, the question of damages. If there are no damages, even though liability is clear, then you simply have no case. For example, if someone runs a red light and they're clearly at fault, but no one's hurt and there's no injuries, then there's no personal injury case in that situation. You have to have all the aspects that we're going to discuss today. Damages are the harm that was done to you in the accident, including your past medical bills, your future medical bills, your lost wages, your reduced earning capacity, your mental anguish that you go through, and most of all, your story in terms of how the injuries have affected you in your life. Even in the earliest stages of the case, you probably have some idea as to how severe your injuries are. However, many times injuries take days, if not weeks, to manifest themselves because other injuries may be masking the others that are underlying. Cases involving broken bones, which show x-rays, are one type of injury. However, many other injuries require MRI technology or other imaging technology that simply won't be picked up by the basic medical evaluation. Another question that comes up is the ability to pay. Does the potential defendant have the ability to pay? If not, you or your attorney may invest a good deal of time, money, effort, and emotional energy in the case, but never see a penny in return. You always have to make sure that we also look at all aspects of the defendant in terms of other types of insurance that might be out there. We also might be looking at personal assets of the defendant. However, in most situations, when there is someone that has no insurance, there's not much that can be done unless you as the client have uninsured motorist coverage concerning a motor vehicle crash where you were injured. Another factor that often comes up is whether or not the jury will like you. In other words, your credibility, your story, you as a person matters. Even more importantly, if the jury doesn't like you or doesn't believe you, your settlement range goes down or becomes extremely nominal. If you have a voice through a great law firm or any other type of advocacy program to tell your story and to help you, that will help relay your story and it'll give you the ability to have a more favorable outcome. Another question that comes up are the witnesses, the investigation, all the legwork that's necessary to prove your case. Your case is only as good as your evidence. And usually your evidence is only as good as the witnesses that are out there. If, for example, your witness to support liability is a relative or friend, that might make your case a little weaker. If you have several impartial witnesses, that helps. Your doctor might be a witness to the medical part of your case. If the doctor involved has never testified, doesn't want to testify, or cannot testify well, then that will lower the settlement value of your case. One of the other factors that's involved is what insurance company is involved in terms of the liability, or what insurance company do you have in terms of an uninsured motorist claim. As lawyers, we are extremely familiar with which insurance companies are the most tight-fisted and will simply make ridiculous lowball offers on cases. And in those situations, we're prepared to take the case all the way through to a jury trial if necessary, and send a message to the insurance company that our clients will not be pushed around. One of the other factors that's involved is time. It is probably the most important factor that's looked at besides a liability in any case. For example, if it's been more than 30 days or even more than 2 weeks for that matter since the accident has happened and you haven't gone to the doctor, that'll be a red flag that the insurance company will bring up in your case. It's essential to get medical treatment right away. As a general rule, the longer it takes a case to get to a jury, the less sympathetic jurors will be. In other words, it's important to hire the right law firm right away so that you have advocacy in the beginning. So if your case does need to go to a lawsuit stage, that can be done early on, which will in turn push your case forward and allow a jury to be more sympathetic because the case is not too old. One of the other things that we've heard over the years from a variety of insurance companies is this discussion of correlation between the amount of physical damage to the vehicle and the injuries that you've sustained. It is true that the amount of damage to the vehicle and your injuries, unfortunately, are evaluated at the same time or in coordination with each other by the insurance companies. I am a firm believer that that is simply not true, because we all know that you could step off a curb and break your ankle, and we've all heard of folks that in a rollover collision and they walk away with minor injuries. This is why it's important to have a law firm to explain your situation and what happened to your injuries, so that the insurance company doesn't try to say, well, the pictures aren't that bad, therefore the injuries aren't that bad. If the vehicle that you were in has severe damage, there's no secret that a jury will likely be more sympathetic to your injuries. And again, this is why if it is a minor property damage situation and you have injuries, it is essential to hire a law firm that can overcome that obstacle through experts and most of all, experience. I want to thank each of you for watching this video today. We stand ready to serve you in your time of need and in your time of injury. Please feel free to contact us on any of the 24/7 hotlines for injuries. My folks stand ready, as well as me, to serve you, and we look forward to talking with you soon. There's no obligation, of course, to visit with us. And of course, we have a host of employees that speak Spanish to support any Spanish-speaking person that would prefer to speak to us in Spanish. Thank you very much. We look forward to serving you.